So, hi there, dear chess friends and wannabe chess friends, gonna be chess friends. And today I decided to record another video in English language and also about chess 960 once again. And um, the reasons I only said that in the end. I was talking about English language. Why English language? Children, there's internet. You need this language. You simply need it, and all the everyone in the world should simply decide. I mean, just you gotta learn English. You can publish your own thoughts a lot better. You can share them, spread them. You can address a lot more people like that, and anyone can. And also, you simply have to refer to that. You need to get access to that. But I mean, we need the English language. The synchronization problem that I mentioned was the bigger nations, they have their synchronization of the big movies, which smaller countries do not have. So this is why already from the youth, when you grow up, you simply when you turn on TV, which everyone may do, and yeah, then you hear your own language and you do not hear the English language because most of the big movies are being produced in Hollywood, let's say, and so if they have the original language in Scandinavia, as I said, also they do not synchronize, so people hear from their youth on, they hear this English language and they start to learn it simply like that. And in the bigger countries with the bigger languages, we have the French language, we have the Spanish, we have the Italian, and we have the German, which is actually not such a big language, although there's Austria and Switzerland as well speaking this language, but it's an ugly language and it's a difficult, very difficult and hard to learn language. It's not a widespread language, while French, Spanish especially, English we have to exclude from that, and also Italian are much wider spread and much more used. And Italian is also the one referring to the original from the Latin, from the Romanian languages. So all these languages are much more useful than Germany, but Germany may consider themselves in some sense, well, they in economy or something like that, one of the biggest countries. Anyway, no one, we all need to learn and we have to understand this problem, maybe also why the Germans or French people, I do not want to insult anyone, but they do not speak such good English, and also Italian, Spaniards, they usually do not, speak it from the youth. Let's put it like that. But they ought to, and everyone has to learn it, I would say. So, but this is not the main reason why I tried to record it in English language. It is rather because I applied at chess.com, let's say, what would you have some use for from videos, and then they replied, well, as long as they are in English language, we can consider, or we may consider, but not in German language, of course, because, well, this is just too small and no one needs it. So, and I was talking once again now about this stuff, and you can't stop me from talking. And so you do not consider this pure chess videos. I'm just talking about the world and share my thoughts, and maybe you like them or you don't. But you don't. You're not forced to watch those videos, of course. And still, I'm trying to get some chess contents in here, right? And so you see a position there, and it's a game I'm going to talk about right in a second. And but first of all, I was trying to mention this further more problem of this why people stay away from the 960 chess 960. I mean, I see some chance for it now to get spread a bit wider, because of these two tournaments, Carlsen playing Nakamura, where they played 4 games of chess 960. All of them were good games, and they okay. And so at least those they do not stay away from that. So this might be serve as an image. What do you say? An example. They all could. Well, what is it? Sorry, I'm missing this word right now. Anyway, they giving a good example, so maybe people follow that. But also Saravan, this big tournament that had been broadcasted with all those grandmasters, with Washila Graf playing in there. You can find this on YouTube, I think. Maybe I can show this link here as well. Not in the mails. No, by no means. Many of things here open. Oh, chess 960. What have I been looking for? Well, anyway, it's no, sorry. I don't want to show you this stuff. Sorry. I meant to do this. And now I'm get completely lost here. No, I get lost here. Okay, I know what to do. We come in here. I say, okay. Now I can get back this board here. Okay, sorry, yeah. Anyway, it's commented by Yasser Sarawan and Danny Ranch, big tournament. It was on chess.com, I think. I've started to watch it, and I may continue. And there's 2.5 hours, I don't know, but they went through plenty of those games, and they commented on them. Although they were a bit distracted or sidetracked by commenting, because they missed quite a few, well, things on the board that the grandmaster may have noticed. Anyway, it's still a good video. Of course, you can watch it. And so I'm hopeful. I'm looking forward to getting this game further spread. What I was I wrote about this already, and well, let's say I share my thoughts here. Some of them I can't recite my whole book here, so to say, about that. But there's the one problem that I mentioned yesterday already: why people stay away, and how I would like to get them going, right? Get them into this game. You get different positions. You get different well, motifs. I called it motif. I don't know what that would do. If there's a better word, right now I don't know. But yeah, patterns. Yeah, you just have different chances how to well, get your pieces out, or simply combinations or tactics, or things like that. But also some general strategic thoughts. Why people stay away? Okay, there are 2 main reasons. The one is they say they don't know the rules. The rule is, like any other chess game, there's one difference in castling, and there's actually no difference, but there is this difference that I pointed out that people do not really notice. If you see this position, you do not know if you're allowed to castle. If you see it, or you hold it yourself, you have it yourself, you do not know, because you may have moved the rook or the king, and then you would not be able to castle, but you could have this position without having moved any of those pieces. So in this position, both sides did not lose their right to castle yet. So this was the original setup: king here, rook here, rook here. So this is the one thing, keep in mind. It may cause some more problems. You do not know if you are in any given position. You do not know if this side or that side is allowed to castle. You have to remember, because you cannot tell by the position. Because, well, in classical chess, you always have the same setup: king here, rook here, rook here. So you can, at least if one of these pieces is out of position, you can be sure you can't castle. If you have 960, any such position is legal with those pieces somewhere here. King could be here, rook could be here. And this move, rook obviously has moved, so there's no chance. But in case it went back even, which would be possible, then you would have the original position, and then you still would not know if you could castle. Well, you could say, I made 4 moves with my rook. Of course, I can't castle with this rook. Anyway, so this is a minor problem, which I have to admit is one. And I could also tell you a couple of stories about this, what happened and what people have done wrong and what happened to me. Because I made errors myself. So anyone staying away from it, I can't say he's fully wrong about it. You do not know the rules. Actually, you have to say, I do know the rules, but I'm afraid of making errors, which is, or yeah, mistakes. I don't want to embarrass myself or something like that. Be embarrassed because I make such a silly move that is illegal or something like that. But there is one other problems about castling, a couple of those, right? So if, like in this position, right, the rook is here, this castling c to the c file, I mean the king is in position already, but you can't castle to the c file. The c castling is impossible with the rook being here. So of course you can castle kingside or to the g file. There is no king side, right? There's just the g castling and the c castling. You can castle to the everything is fulfilled for that, right? So no pieces in between. So you can castle here. You do not need to move this bishop. King ends here, rook ends here. That's always the same story. But this rook can't move here unless this rook is moved already. So you can only castle to the c file in case this rook is gonna move. So you can't do at any given point, you can't have the choice between c castling and g castling. Either you do it g castling or you move the rook first, give up the right to castle to the g file, and then castle to the c file, which would work like this. You move this rook here or there, and then you castle. So you bring this rook over here without moving the king. So well, this is an exception already, some kind of exception, but it's an obvious one, right? None of the rules mentioned before is disobeyed or something like that, right? You can't move your king when it's in check. You can't move it cross fields that are covered by opposing pieces, and so on. So, but anyway, here it's obvious you can't castle c as long as the rook is here. This is why quite often people delay castling, and this is obvious here as well, right? The two of us did not castle, neither one did, although it's a very legal move here for black, and actually I moved up my rook, which you can see here, and with the intention, in some sense, right, to do this kind of castling. But when I had it here, well, I had this idea already. I thought, well, why not bring it here first? And when I saw this setup, I thought, well, maybe it could be useful at some point on this b file. So in some sense, it's not. Yeah, why would it be useful? I will show in a minute. Yeah, I just wanted to point out these tiny problems about castling, which may serve as an excuse in some sense, but yeah, well. There might be other reasons why people stay away. Well, one more reason I wanted to mention is people know how to set up the pieces, right? They always set up their pieces, right? You set up the board. You bring out the pieces, and then you pour out the pieces, and then, well, let's set them up, right? So you start setting them up. How would you set them up? You wouldn't place your king here. Why should you, right? You wouldn't place the rook here, but you would place a king here, rook here, because you know where they stand, where they belong to, right? There's also one more statement about chess 960 and the classical chess. The one famous grandmaster, he said for some reason, the pieces are well placed and coordinated in the classical position, which is maybe, yeah, it may be right. I heard this as well in other, but in 960 you would have the. It's also why Portish, for example, said he does not like this game because the people the pieces are not standing so well, right? They are not placed so well. But this is of course a silly excuse because when you would say, well, why then you have a much more difficult task to get them into good places, right? Which is then a bigger challenge, which should actually serve the better players or the right people who understand. Well, why wouldn't you stay away from the bigger challenge? Why would you? I mean, we are playing chess. This is the biggest challenge or the biggest game with a, well, yeah, with the brain you can do. So why wouldn't you raise this level of what to achieve? If you make Sudokus or something like that, would you always start do the beginner Sudokus, or would you at some point say, well, let's see what the most difficult ones are, right? I would like to crack them. I would like to be up to that challenge, right? Anyway, so this makes no sense to me. I think the reason is they know where the pieces belong in some sense, right? They belong here, rook here, knight here, bishop here. So you set them up. So let's start playing. So that's what people do, right? If you have the 960, I do have this app here on my mobile phone, of course, right? I can show you maybe. Here's the chess 960 app. Well, you might not be able to see it. Camera, I don't know. But you have this app here. Then I say generate new board, and why is this so bright? I don't know. Well, anyway, it's giving me a position with bishop, bishop, queen. Well, I actually intended to set up some of those positions, right? Bishop, bishop, queen, rook, knight, king, knight, rook, something like that. So, and we could discuss such opening positions at some point, right? Now I've talked for way too long, and well, let's get into this game right now, right? I might get back to those things I was talking about. Here, what is striking here? I mean, there is a chance of a sacrifice here, or maybe, right? Or push up the pawn and get into here. But white is ready to castle to the g5, as I pointed out. It's a game from the Berlin Championship that I showed a game from yesterday. This is third round, my third round game. I was playing black, actually. And he is ready to castle, so get away out of all this trouble, right? If you think about sacrifices here, there's always the chance of bringing the rook here and pinning the queen, right? But there's still knight c5. Well, we would have some excitement. But I found a different idea here, and I thought, well, I simply have to go for it. And I played this move, first of all, attacking the bishop. So he hit there, of course. I brought out the knight because it's opening up the queen's diagonal. And why would you? I mean, if you had such an idea in classical chess, well, your queen wouldn't be here. It would always be here. How would you get it here? So it's just a different pattern, but still something in common with chess, right? And why would you deprive yourself from getting such exciting positions, right? By just saying, well, the pieces belong here, and there, and then we know everything what's going to happen. So he made this move, and now I simply lashed out this move, and I simply went for it. It may be a mistake, I don't know, but I simply have. Sometimes you have to do that, and for the sake of chess, right? So this is the sacrifice I played here. He recaptured. I gave this check here. So if the king moves, I got at least a perpetual. It was a good opponent, so why not go for a perpetual with a king c2, queen a2, king c1, queen a3. So he moved up his rook, and now I got plenty of chances or ways to continue. But I went for knight c3. I mean, here are so many options. I can play rook c6 because castling is no longer an option because b2 is en prise. And I could hit here. I could move up the a pawn with the idea of taking there and exchanging and playing a4. Of course, he got a dangerous pass pawn then here because he can hit on h6. So anyway, there are many chances. I didn't check it with a computer, and I won't do this. But I played this idea because, and now you see one point in that he recaptured. Sorry, this is my mouse. And now rook comes here. There's no knight c5. That was an option before because of queen c3. And now I thought like this: if he's gonna hit here, then I of course take back with a pawn. And this is why I said my rook is gonna might be well placed on b8 at some point. So, but obviously he spotted that and played bishop e1. I mean, I'm not saying I was surprised by that. I knew there are chances for him, chances for myself, but I rated my chances good enough. I instantly played a5 now with the idea of, of course, a4 and pinning some more pieces. h6, okay, I have to, this knight was always, well, at least securing, shielding this square, I don't know. But there's still the option of castling as well, the c castle, right? I can do that at any point. So this would also bring another piece into range of the h pawn. But he played a much better move. This was knight d4, and now I had to take on c3. Bishop takes back. Now there's not a lot better than a4. I saw this coming. Knight c2. So my queen has to go away. Queen to d6, attacking h2 as well. Now he moved up his knight, and actually, I very well noticed I could hit on h2 and mix up some more, attack some more, take some more pawns. H6 is covered, and so on. But I thought my pawns are good enough. I simply take back here, let him castle. He was very proud of finding this move. I can't do the castling here because Fritz, Fritz does not allow that. So I have to make an artificial castling, right, by moving up the bishop. And now I finished the artificial castling by hand, but it was in one move, right? He could move his king here and the rook over. So this was the G castling that he did. So he was very proud of that. I saw it. I foresaw it. Actually, I missed one thing, I have to admit, which was that I intended to play here a move like queen e7, but actually, as I see the position now, why did I? I think because of knight e5, right? Because I wanted to cover here. And I think knight e5 is and I don't know what to do about this is a good bishop then. And rook here on b8, no, I can't do that. So maybe e5 was a better move, but I made b5 because I intended to play, he hit here instantly. No, I actually intended to play b4, and I can show you this line that I calculated. And this was already, it was already a move before, and I was not sure. And because he does have this shot, which is a very important move, strategical. I can't do much with those pawns, right? I can't hit here, it's gonna hit here and then recapture, and my queen is attacked and everything. So I thought about hitting here. He's gonna hit this one. What is this line? No, sorry, I'm wrong here. No. This is not the case. Well, I'm sorry. b5? No. I didn't even play this move. The line went like this. I play b5, he plays d4. sorry, he plays d4. This was the line I calculated. That's why I didn't play b5. And I'm gonna play this because I can't see much different, but he can also move. But now this was the line at least I calculated. I don't know how well. Now he can't hit here because I take back with the queen, but he can hit here, and I can hit his rook. I can also take with a pawn, but he got knight a3, knight b1, protecting this. But now, yeah, maybe rook f2, and I can take here, but I can't really see how to make progress with these pawns, and I got a couple of pawns. Sure, I may be able to pick up this one, but yeah, I wasn't sure about this position, but I didn't go for it, and I'm not sure right now as well, right? I'm not sure about rook a2 because maybe I should play f6 first and protect this one, right? But I'm a piece down, yeah, to be honest, yeah. And this, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, how many pawns? 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, if I get the a2 pawn, yeah, or if I get this one, it would be 3 pawns. Yeah, I'm still not sure. But this is what I did not go for. Instead, I played the move e5. This I remember now. And sorry, this was new main line. He hit here instantly, and now I made this move, which may still be okay. But he went here in yeah. And now I made this mistake, b5, because I blundered this pawn. But he didn't pick it up, so I made b5. He played here, I went here, and he hit here, and I had to take back like that, because otherwise bishop b4. And now the bishop came here to e1, to g3, and later on it was lost. It simply, yeah, it was better for white, I think, right? I couldn't do much about it, although it was a good idea, I think. I think I played rook b6 here, and he took here, and I took back, and he played bishop g3, and I attacked this pawn, and he didn't care for this pawn, brought his knight over, queen g4, and then his rook came in here. Yeah, or he picked up the f7 pawn, I think. Knight e5. Yeah, this was the way the game went. Now I remember. But obviously his pieces are too good now, so no compensation for me, really. And yeah, I don't know where the improvements are, but you at least saw some little bit of chess as well here, right? And b5 was not what I played because of right what I showed here. And yeah, why did I show this? And yeah, it's 27 minutes already. It wasn't an idea I saw here, and I think there are sometimes simply positions, concepts, ideas that are they are all played with the same pieces, right? You might find it in studies, but here you had any other game would produce such chances for you, right? Where you could it's still played with the same pieces, but the pieces end up on different places, so you got different patterns that you have to look for, but that should be more exciting than the classical chess, where it's usually the same. And as I pointed out yesterday, in classical chess we play much more a game of knowledge, and here we play a game of skill, right? Why would we insist on, I want to play a game of knowledge. I know better, I know the name of the variation, I know the 15th move, I know Kasparov played this, Magnus Carlsen played here, and whatever it is, right? So I know it, and I rely on it. He made this move, so I'm gonna make it as well. And if it's the 15th move, and I get this far with my opponent, I can say, oh, well, you see, I played like Magnus Carlsen, but it was just reproducing his moves, and I didn't find a single one myself. I'm reproducing his moves. Or is it Magnus Carlsen? He usually plays very different moves in the opening, and which I like very much. But his Spanish, or sometimes the moves he always repeats, right, as well. But anyway, I wanted to point out why would we play a game of knowledge over a game of skill? Why we have the chance of making chess a game of skill again, of pure skill. I'm not saying that it's, you know, and I can say to the relief of any of the top players, I can, or the better players, grandmasters, I can say, you surely will perform there as well. You are the better player, I guess, and you will perform there as well. If you got a 2550 rating, then you will also have this 2550 in chess 960. You will achieve it in a different way, and you will. But usually you're not you're not falling in love. What is it if yeah, no, I don't have these expressions here in English language, but you do not need this knowledge to be a good chess player. You do not need it. You have a chess understanding, and you will bring this on board. And and usually, right, you will hardly find any player that is a good chess player that won't be good in chess 960. And also the other way around, it's hard to be good at this game if you're not any good in chess. But anyway, it would teach me, go and improve your chess skills and do not go for building up knowledge, which is knowledge which is usually opening knowledge. So I'm a chess teacher for a long time now. Ever since I was 18, I did have my first chess students. But I never went into opening theory. I say, well, you can show me your game. I can say what I think about it. And I look at a position and I say, and then they usually ask me, is it theory? Well, why would this question be asked? Is this theory? Go make a good move. And as long as it's a good move, you do not need the safety of it being a theoretical move. It will be there, you will find it. Theory is the praxis of the grandmasters. Anyway, okay, that's enough for today. Really, I know I'm making you tired a bit. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you come back, and